Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement if they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. Of her being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon.
Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. So there's something going on in my community and I need your help with. So this is a double homicide that happened in my community, but there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. This is Thomas Matajek. He actually killed his mother and her boyfriend recently, but the problem here is he shouldn't even have been out of jail. He should have been in a mental hospital, and he is deemed incompetent to stand trial. This right here is our state attorney, and his name is Ed Brodsky. He has been our state attorney in the 12th district for some time. I recently learned our law enforcement officer, Sheriff Rick Wells, has arrested this guy many times and has prepared a case and sent that over to the state prosecutor. Ed Brodsky was supposed to litigate the matter. However, he ended up taking the felony case, reducing it to a misdemeanor, sending it to a misdemeanor court, and then just a month ago sent this deranged mental patient to a halfway house where he escaped and killed his mother. How can you help Bullhorn Betty? You can help Bullhorn Betty by saying, we will not accept this. This is unacceptable. Our law enforcement does their job and they send it over to the prosecutors just to let them go. Now, 2 people in my own backyard have lost their life because of these horrible and poor decisions at the hand of the state prosecutor, not law enforcement. So please, I ask you, is this going to be acceptable in your community as well? This is how you can help. If this case bothers you, if it disgusts you, if you realize 2 people should not be laying in the morgue right now, please consider giving Ed Brodsky a call and letting him know this is unacceptable from any state prosecutor.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Are having a wonderful Sunday. A great message. If you guys were at church with us, we had a great time. I don't know about any of you guys yet if you haven't gone to church, but we're shaking and baking this morning. We're shaking and baking. We had a great message. It was wonderful. So as you noticed, we like to empower people here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So I just want people to understand when you got murderers in my backyard, how I react to it. And that is going to be in our intro for quite some time until I hear from Ed Brodsky as to why this happened and why I had somebody down the road from me. Guys, this is closer than you even know to my house. Walking distance. That scares me. So say la vie. That's not what we're here. We've got breaking news. We covered a case. Just 2 days ago. I don't know if you guys remembered it. We briefly covered it. And it's actually, we covered it on the same day that I said I wasn't even going to cover this case in my town that's right down the road from me, right? So I'm going to pull this up and we're going to have a discussion because they just found her. And we're going to read through all the stuff here. It's we knew, it's one of those cases we knew. It was just a matter of finding her. She's been found. So I'm not going to take too much time. We're going to go ahead and get right on into the show. And then we'll step back, we'll read the language of letting go and say hi to everybody.
Time this missing Winter Springs mother was seen alive. Law enforcement in 4 counties say they're using every resource they can to find her.
We're going to keep doing and pouring everything we can into this to hopefully have some answers.
Shakeira Rucker's family says they're not getting those answers from law enforcement. Good evening, I'm Greg Warman.
And I'm Martha Sigalski. Her family is now doing a search of their own in the area she was last seen in Polk County. Police say this surveillance photo that was just released today shows Rucker with her estranged husband at a restaurant in Davenport Saturday night. No one has heard from her ever since.
Guys, can you guys hear that? I don't know if it's just my headphones or if it's low on your end or not, but it's going. It looks like it's hitting everything that it needs to hit, but it just seems low on my end. So let me know if you guys can't hear stuff, and I'll refresh.
Daryl Matthews is live in Winter Springs, where this all started. And Daryl, investigators searched several areas today. They had those search warrants. Did they find anything?
Okay, it is really low. All right, give me just a second. You guys know how this thing goes, right? These damn audio. I hate my audio equipment anymore. It's starting to really just piss me off. This might cause some problems, technical problems. Let's see if this is any better.
Yeah, Martha, that we don't.
No, that's not any better either. What the hell? The things that make you go, All right. Well, we're just going to bear through it, and when I get to the next one, we'll figure it out. I don't know what else to do. All the volumes are up on it, but it's really low on my end. You know, guys, just sit. I can hear low. Well, I don't want it to be low. We had a good production on this particular one, so just give me a second. Let me figure out what the heck is going on. I just don't know what's going on. You guys, why you guys? I guess you guys can talk to me. Sorry about that. I hate when I have audio issues. Nothing is more frustrating. I have to be honest with you. Nothing is more frustrating. And there, hold on, just guys. I'm going to be moving some stuff around. It's going to get really ugly and disgusting, and nobody's going to like what I'm about to do. Here, hold on a second. All right, audio. All right, we're back to internal. Okay, so I did that. Now let me reset this. Now we're going to go to USB. All right, now we're going to come over here and make sure we're on USB. All right. This works. I don't know. Let me refresh. All right, so we got that. All right, so hopefully you guys can hear me fine. It was just the audio on this show.
Today shows Rucker with her estranged husband.
Okay, make sure it's all okay. The volume is up on that. So we're just going to roll with it. I don't know what else to do, to be honest with you. I've got it all the way up. Hopefully it works. So we'll get back to it. Let me just back it up just a tad. Okay.
They can
to
find her.
We're going to keep doing and pouring everything we can into this to hopefully have some answers.
Shakeira Rucker's family says they're not getting those answers from law enforcement. Good evening, I'm Greg Warman.
And I'm Martha Sigalski. Her family is now doing a search of their own in the area she was last seen in Polk County. Police say this surveillance photo that was just released today shows Rucker with her estranged husband at a restaurant in Davenport Saturday night. No one has heard from her ever since. Channel 9's Daryl Matthews is live in Winter Springs, where this all started. And Daryl, investigators searched several areas today. They had those search warrants. Did they find anything?
Yeah, Martha, that we don't know as of right now, but what we do know is one of those signed and executed search warrants were for this house. This is where it all started. It's where the family saw her leave with Hill, and it's where I spoke with them earlier today.
If you know anything or see anything, please say something. I just want my mom.
A daughter's plea for help to find her mother, who's been missing since Saturday night. We're trying to.
Sorry about that. So you guys get the drift, okay? So she went missing. We briefly covered her case. I want to put her face up here. Hold on a second. There we go. I don't know why this thing does this. I wanted to put her face up. Give me just a second. There we go. I wanted to put her face and name up. The computer was fighting with me just a little bit. But we covered her case, and this was the one where Cory Hill, remember I told you he ended up going and shooting up her family's home. That's really what he was in jail for. And he was being uncooperative with law enforcement. He wasn't telling them where she was. She disappeared. She's got kids and nobody knows where she's at. Well, we now know. Law enforcement came out about 45 minutes before I started this, right before 11. Right before 11, they came out and they now have an update on the case. If I can get it to work.
I'm not sure how to get. I can't imagine the pain and suffering.
This whole system is just driving me nuts. There we go. Sorry, guys. Technical issues. I'm at the mercy of my internet, but that's really what they wanted to do right there. The commercial. Everybody blames me for putting commercials in my stuff. Well, it's part of the game. Okay, it's part of the game. Come on. I'm so irritated. This has got me irritated. Is this going to play? It's not going to even play. It just stops. So I have no video now to show you. We're going to need some prayers. I'm about to cuss at the computer. I'm about to cuss at this computer. Good Lord. I can't even turn the volume on. If I touch this thing, it takes me over to this veterans crisis line. Jesus.
All right. Well, good morning. So this is not the
our prayer, guys. Our prayer.
Be giving you all today. As you know, unfortunately, we have found Shakeira Rucker deceased yesterday. And so we just want to extend our deepest condolences to Shakeira's family. My heart breaks. I can't imagine the pain and suffering that they have been enduring this past week. So last night, our detectives did notify Shakeira's family and that we had found her, and now they can start the painful process of grieving her loss. So you guys have all been covering this story for a week. There's been a lot of twists and turns that have covered, lots of different jurisdictions, including, Lake County, Seminole County, Orange County, Polk County, all assisting the Winter Springs Police Department in the search for Shakeira. So we were all hoping for a different outcome. So on yesterday, November 18th, the Orange County Sheriff's Office was assisting the Winter Springs Police Department in searching an area near Bob White Airfield in Mount Dora. That search concluded around 3 p.m. and shortly before 5 p.m., we received a 911 call from a storage unit facility on 2400 Wiggins Road in Apopka about a smell emanating from one of the storage units. Orange County deputies responded. They were able to make entry into the storage unit, and they found a woman believed to be Shakeira Rucker, deceased from apparent gunshot wounds. So this now becomes an Orange County homicide investigation and case. So as you all know, Shakeira's estranged husband, Cory Hill, is the prime suspect in her disappearance and obviously now in this murder. He is already in the Orange County Jail and charged with 4 counts of attempted homicide for shooting at his girlfriend and family back on November 12th. And he is under a no bond status. And I say all that to say that we have plenty of time to continue collecting evidence and testing to build our case.
They're not going to rush this investigation.
Cory Hill with Shakeira's murder. So I'm saying that he is the suspect. We're not looking for anyone else. He will be charged with the murder eventually in this case. And so this time I'm going to turn it over to Chief Tracht from Winter Springs Police Department, who'd like to say a few words.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. I appreciate the support we've had from the media. I'm Matthew Tracht. I'm the chief here at Winter Springs Police Department. I want to echo some of the sheriff's comments that our thoughts and prayers go out to Shakeira's family. It's been a very exhausting week for them, an exhausting week for Central Florida law enforcement. I want you guys to have an understanding of the scope of how large this investigation was. As the sheriff indicated, it expanded to 4 counties: Seminole County, Lake County, Polk County, and obviously Orange County. Additionally, Mount Dora Police Department supported us, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and the FBI. I can't thank them enough. These are partner agencies. to come to an outcome. It's not the outcome we expected, but there's a little bit of closure for Shakeira's family. It just goes to show the testament of the partnerships Central Florida law enforcement have in our community. A week ago today, essentially, Shakeira was reported missing. We know from evidence that she left with Mr. Hill and went down to Polk County, to the Davenport area. Through the investigation, we were able to track some leads, and those leads brought us to Lake County, and those leads brought us back to Orange County. And obviously, you're aware of the outcome here in Orange County. Like I said, it's not what we were expected. We do grieve with Shakeira's family. We worked around the clock, 16, 18-hour days, nonstop, until we could get some closure in this case. I will bring up Captain Nick Romano. He's my lead criminal investigations investigator that can answer some of the questions, as long as we're not compromising anything with this homicide investigation. Thank you.
As Chief said, my name is Captain Nick Romano with the Winter Springs Police Department. I'm the captain over criminal investigations. The lead investigator is Investigator Tracy Fugate, but I can answer some questions if you should have. Sir, that would be an answer or a question that Orange County would have to answer for you. Any other questions?
So I didn't hear that question, guys. Let me just see if I can just, maybe just go back. It won't even let me go back, and I'm scared to do anything with this video because it took so long to load. So I'll try to listen a little closer and repeat the question before they answer it if I can.
Investigator, if you get myself.
It sounded like they asked something about Shakeira's family.
And Lieutenant Bill Mayhew went to Shakeira's family last night and notified them of her death. Like the chief said, this is a difficult moment for that entire family, and of course, they are grieving at this point, and we were there to support them.
You know what? You kind of see the humanity in that law officer's face, when he was saying that we were there and we supported them. It's almost heartbreaking. You almost see it almost seems like he was there during that, because it seems like when he made that statement, it seemed pretty emotional in his eyes, in my opinion. Go back and rewind when you guys can and look at that. It looked pretty notable.
Not a problem. I'll turn it back over to Orange County. Orange County is currently working this investigation as a homicide at this point in their jurisdiction. They'll be able to answer those questions for you.
Why are you guys searching the field near Davenport? I believe it was. What was the reason for searching that area?
Throughout our investigation, with the assistance of the Lake County Sheriff's Office, Electronic Division, as well as the Federal Bureau and FDLE, we were given some data, location points to possibly some target areas that we needed to address, and to take a closer look at those locations. That's how we were able to obtain those points, if you will. In our investigations with the missing persons case, we went out and attempted to talk to him, and at this time he was not cooperating. Any questions for me? I'm going to turn it back over to Orange County.
Yeah, so just there are a couple of questions. Yeah, they're still doing the autopsy.
Oh, hey, Lori.
She did die apparently of some gunshot wounds, and I know there was another question about the. She
died of apparent gunshot wounds. We all heard that. It sounded like it. Let me just see. God, I hope I don't screw this up. It sounds like multiple gunshot wounds. That's a first for me, to be honest with you. It's the first I've heard of multiple gunshot wounds. Let's check this out. Let's see what he has to say again.
There are a couple of questions. Yeah. They're still doing the autopsy, but she did die apparently of some gunshot wounds.
Yep. Some gunshot wounds. So it sounds like she was shot multiple times.
And I know there was one other question about the storage facility. The storage facility the storage unit was registered to Cory Hill.
So okay, that's a good stopper right there. Because we know law enforcement, it looks like I'm going to have some lag. I don't know if it's going to be audio related or not, but check this out. So he just said that the storage unit was in Cory's name. Now, he said he's been in jail literally the day, like, what was it? She was out with him for dinner. She disappears. So I don't remember if it was late at night. I have to go back and read it. I don't want to say anything out of place because, good Lord, we got the exact police. I don't need to make a mistake. Jesus, we'll have daggers coming out of my eyes by dinner, right? So I can't remember the finite details of it, but apparently they went out to a dinner. She disappeared. Right after her disappearance, apparently her estranged ex-husband, Cory Hill, the one she was out to dinner with, starts shooting up like an ex-girlfriend's house. I thought it was her family's house, but those details may even be a little vague there, because he said ex-girlfriend when he was giving the report here on this, whatever this is, this press conference, right? So, and he's saying that the storage unit was registered in Cory Hill's name. So how did they not find this? I mean, you just would assume, and I don't want to beat them. I mean, we just ran the case 2 days ago. They found her body within, as far as I'm concerned, within 24 or 48 hours, right? Because we ran the case. Not that it has anything to do when we ran the case. I'm just saying that that's when I heard about it. So from the time the world started hearing about this case, within 48 hours, they found her. So they moved fairly quickly. But you guys have to remember, this happened days ago. This all happened days ago. And we're just now finding out that he has this storage unit. And my question is going to be legit. Why did it take all this time to locate the storage unit? And it wasn't law enforcement that located the storage unit, because when they first started this out, they stated that the storage company to them because of a foul smell. So there is that. I just would assume, what assume means, I know. And I have to be honest with you. I don't know the process and what it would take to get a warrant for a storage unit. We cover true crime, but the finite details on what that process they go through to get that and what probable cause is needed to go into the storage unit, I don't know. I don't know the case. But it just seems like the guy's in jail for shooting up a house, and he's got a missing ex-wife or estranged wife that he would just happen to be out to dinner with. And I would just assume that they would have already been inside of a storage unit. And I would assume that they've already done, checked the house and done their forensics at the house. And I would assume they've done the house, the car, and whatever else place he went in. And if he has a job, then go to his job. You just assume that would be the process. And then we find out a week later she's found. But she's not found by law enforcement. She's found by... So I just, maybe they'll talk about it in this interview. I have a funny feeling nobody's going to ask the question. You're dealing with mainstream media. But we'll see. We'll see.
Again, he's the prime suspect in this case. And, again, I want to talk about the pain and suffering that Shakeira's family have been through. And really, Cory Hill could have stopped a lot of that pain and suffering by talking to investigators in the very beginning, instead of putting them through this week-long nightmare. He could, the storage facility, the storage unit was registered to him. He had to have known that we would eventually find her in there.
Eventually. I don't like that word. I don't like that word when we're looking for a beautiful woman that should be walking this earth and should be with her daughter. I don't like the word eventually in situations like this. Not that I'm beating these people up. I mean, they have, it's so easy. And this is, and I say this with all love. I do. I say this with all love. It's so easy to judge, right? It's so easy to judge decisions, when you're on this side and not and don't have the pressure of making the decision. It's so easy to see crystal clear. Hindsight is 2020, no pun intended, hindsight. But you know what I mean? I just don't like the word eventually. I don't like the word eventually. But they do have, a tough time. They can only, and again, they still have, even if they wanted to put even if they knew about I'd like to first know if they knew of this storage facility. I mean, if they totally just didn't know about it until they called, I'd be like, how did you guys not know about this after a full solid week of investigations and talking to people and stuff like that? Like, how did we drop the ball? But that may not be the case. I mean, we don't know. Maybe he paid with cash. Maybe there was no credit cards. Maybe he didn't have any contract laying out around his house when they went and searched it to lead them to believe he had the storage unit. Let's face it, having a storage unit's not having a mortgage. It's not public record. You can't just go do. But I think this would be something that might be beneficial for us to discuss in the future. Maybe we need to be, reminding people, and especially like when these big cases or certain cases come up, we are always talking to people about check your Ring doorbell camera, check this, check that. But maybe we need to start, because we do have people. We have people from bonding agents that watch us. We have literally truck drivers, big rig drivers that watch. We have a lot of different people that watch us. So maybe, there are some storage units. They're sitting in an office, right? I can't imagine it being ultra busy. I mean, I'm sure some areas are more busy than, or, busier rather than others, right? But I'd have to think there might be somebody. So maybe we need to start, check your Ring doorbell cameras, check the contracts over at the storage units to make sure that this guy's not, maybe we just need to put the disclaimer in like we do everything else, because when we're moving and these things are just flowing and it's like, holy crap, we got this thing going on. We forget to say stuff, things are moving. This is a case we just didn't really talk about too much because we kind of knew the ending of it. Like the guy was already in jail when it came on my desk, right? But I don't know if I like that eventually. I just don't. The whole eventually he had to have known we would have eventually found her. How did you not know about the storage unit a week ago? Like, I would think that was be part of your preliminary investigation. But this also shows us, there's a lot of stuff law enforcement, as hard as they work, that they just can't find. I mean, think about it. What kind of secrets does Hawkins County law enforcement not know about Don Wells or Candace Bly that could make or break the case in Summer Wells? Just saying. Maybe they'll eventually get to it.
But so it's very, very disappointing. And, again, our heart goes out to the family. So the crime scene is going to be that storage facility. That's where the homicide happened, if that's what you're asking.
Oh, that's interesting information. So, how did he get her to the storage unit? I mean, you have a date with your ex. You're trying, like, what are you saying? Hey, baby, you want to go to dinner and have a date at the storage unit? I mean, how did he get her there? But it's an estranged. They're estranged. Maybe it was something like, I need to pick up that stuff that's in that storage unit. Yeah, I get it. I haven't seen you in a while. Why don't we catch up? Why don't we go to dinner and then we'll head over to the storage unit? Maybe. How, and I get that the storage units aren't always monitored by, the staff. And I believe that they were out to dinner, not lunch. So that would imply maybe an evening thing. And I really do believe I recall reading the article where he was shooting that house up in the evening. So I I'm kind of thinking all this took place in the evening, but how? So I'd have to assume that there was probably not somebody in the front office of this storage unit. The storage unit was probably closed. They're probably only open Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday. Maybe they're open 7 days a week, but they're probably only open until 5 or 6 o'clock at night. And you either have a key card or a key or some sort of way to get inside the fence and then inside your unit. So how did he get her from restaurant to storage unit in order to commit the homicide? And this is starting, if he got her to the storage unit, doesn't that kind of have because we're lacking facts. We don't have a lot of details. Maybe they'll answer some. But again, I'm not really, there's a lot of questions I have, being who I am, and mainstream media just doesn't cut the mustard, if you know what I mean. Right? They don't ask the right questions, in my opinion. Some of them do. Some of them do. These are good questions, but not great questions, right? Because we want to know, like, what time did they get there? What time do they believe? Do they have the surveillance from was there surveillance at this storage unit? I always like asking questions and pushing that envelope. I don't mind somebody like a sheriff saying, I can't go into that due to the integrity of the investigation. Sometimes you want to know, you want your audience to know that you're asking the question, not for the answer, because if they don't want to answer it, they're not going to answer it. But you want your audience to know that you're asking the questions they want to know about. And the questions that they're asking, in all fairness, did they notify the family? I think that was implied. That was a wasted question. How is the family doing? Again, okay, we want to make it victim focused. I get that. So one question, I get it. But how the hell do you think the family is doing? That for somebody like me, we can imply, we can identify, just for me, that this family is destroyed. So why are you taking your question, the one opportunity you have to really get some information about this case, and focusing it on whether the family is doing well or not? Here, I don't know the family, but let me just tell you what I feel. I'm pretty sure the family is distraught. Pretty sure that a little girl lost her mom. I just feel like those were stupid questions. You have an opportunity in front of a sheriff to ask questions about the case, and you use your questions to ask about the family when you already know the answer. And not only that, it's not like these sheriffs gave you a feel-good answer. If it was worth the question for the answer, like it gave you, if you thought you were going to get that moment, to capture on tape, that would be one thing. I would say that would be a good use of asking those questions, but that wasn't the point. We're here to find out about this case. What's going on with the storage unit? He just told us that Shakeira was killed inside that storage unit. How many, I'm going to be asking, if I was sitting in that room, my questions would be focused on that, because is there cameras? Do you have surveillance? Do you know what time this could have happened? Do you know if he brought the gun with him? Do you know if this was premeditated? Right? Like, mainstream media. Mainstream media.
So that's all still part of the investigation.
Sounds like they're talking about some prior stuff.
Just to answer the question of that, obviously, you guys have seen there's hundreds and hundreds of storage unit facilities in Central Florida area, and that wasn't known until we received the call that was his. All that stuff takes time.
Okay, so that explains it. They just, like I said, this is not our storage facilities aren't public record. But if I'd like, let me go on a little tangent here. What do you guys think about, we have all this stuff, like, for example, I guess that would be kind of I'm playing the tape through, and maybe it probably wouldn't work out as well as it sounds. It sounds like it sounds good in theory, but not in practice. And what I was going to say, it seems like we need to have like a database. You know how you have a pawn shop? Well, they're supposed to register, or they have programs or what, where they register items. So when there's a theft or something and law enforcement needs serious, they have a system that they can go and plug into and see if, you know, that's my understanding anyways. I didn't see it. I haven't looked at it. I have never used it. I don't know if it exists. I'm just saying that I think it does. Okay. I've heard it does. So why wouldn't they have something like that for storage units where you have to register almost like a car? But then I was playing the tape through, and I'm thinking, you know, some people, they can only afford a month's storage, right? And they just end up buying it for a month, and the next thing you know, they can't pay for it. They're locked out, and all their stuff is gone anyways. So the turnover would probably be so much that, but you know, it's really just a registration type of system where you just plug in the names when they go away, or it's re-registered, it overwrites itself. I don't know. I just think that storage units, we've been finding bodies in, right? And I would think that, you know, this would be something that could help law enforcement. But, you know, again, I'm a privacy person, and is that going a little too far? Possibly. Again, playing the tape through as I'm speaking. Don't know what the answer is, but we need something.
To gather all that information, so all that was going on at the time.
Sorry,
Yeah,
back.
again, that's
bag
still
open.
part of the investigation. Yeah, doesn't he have some? Go ahead.
I can't hear that question. I have no idea.
Yeah, the only one that we're aware of is that the murder conviction back from 1993 that I think it's been reported on. Other than that, I don't have any other information.
Okay, so it looks like they were asking about his criminal background. You know, people wonder why I fight so hard, and they think I'm so mean. Okay, they do. They think I'm so mean because I fight so hard to keep violent criminals in jail. Violent criminals. Ones that do terrible things to other human beings. They think I'm mean, unreasonable, right? When somebody kills somebody, I'm an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth person. And quite frankly, as unpopular as it is, I'm one of those people that believe that if you stab somebody and you're convicted, you should go out the way you took somebody else out. As barbaric as that sounds. Because I really believe that it takes that kind of stand for people to stop. To realize that, oh, wait a minute. If I lose my cool and stab them, when I get convicted, they're going to stab me. We didn't have this type of crime when there was public hangings. We just didn't. And I'm sorry. It's offensive. I get it. I'm offended. Trust me. I'm offended that we even have to have this conversation. I'm offended. I truly am offended. But this guy was arrested for murder in the 90s. Murder. According to Bullhorn Betty's stance, this man would not be out walking the streets. He would have never had the opportunity to hurt another individual again if this world was a little tougher on violent crime. I had a situation in my own community. Many of you guys saw the videos. That's what I do when I get frustrated at the crap going on. I make videos. I advocate. I become a pimple on the butt of a politician in my community to get something done. That's what I do. He should have never been out. 1993 murder. 1993 murder 30 years ago. 30 years ago. I don't care. If it was Bullhorn Betty law, he would either be in jail for life or under the jail. As offensive as that is. Maybe I like to offend people. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet.
All right. Thanks, guys.
So, if you wonder what I'm doing, my neighbor. Apparently my neighbor bought something he didn't mean to buy. He made something he didn't mean to buy. He can't eat popcorn. And he thought it was something else with, God, this is messy. He can't eat popcorn, and he thought it was something else with Oreos in it. He saw the Oreos on it. It's one of those things where he saw the Oreos on it, and he just grabbed it. And it came over here. Hands me the bag. I'm like, I'll eat it. I think he was just reminding me. I think he just came over here. Yeah, it's popcorn. It's cookie pop. It's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't have, to be honest with you, like if he didn't bring this over here to me, I probably would never have tried it. Because I'm not really I got this crap all over my fingers. And I have no wipes. I have no wipes. Messy Betty, and I have no water in here. Usually I always have at least a bottle of water. I've got nothing. I got nothing but messy, sticky hands all over my equipment. No. Anyways. So you guys get the drift. A beautiful lady. She lost her life. We knew, I have to say, when we were doing the commentary on it, I think I even said, you know, we know how this is going to end. We know he did it. He obviously had a gun. But you see my frustration. You see why I do the work that I do. Because look at all the questions. Now, let me ask you, those 5 questions that I asked you, would you have preferred to hear the answer to those questions? Or would you have preferred to hear the questions that they had answered? Because honestly, the questions they had answered did nothing for me. None of it. Like there was only two answers that had me even remotely pause the thing to even discuss, and that was like the storage. It was all storage unit related. Yeah, right. That's what frustrates me. You know, they're so busy, catering to this PC culture of trying to be, sweet, kind, and nice. And it's like, look, you're journalists. You're journalists. Ask the questions. That's the difference. They all have to do this. They all have to do this song and dance with their politicians. I don't do that crap with politicians, right? I'd probably, and in all fairness, I'd probably do it around here in my own community, because I know the people here in my own community, and I got to work with them in the future, right? But in most of these areas I go to, I'm going in there. It's like, one and done. At least we hope, right? I hope I don't have to make multiple trips to a certain area because their crime's so high that they got, dead and missing people all over the place. I mean, funny, but not funny, right? So most of these places we can go in there, we always try to be respectful, but we don't get pushed around, and we don't, we do our job. This is from my area, I know, and not to knock Orange County or anything like that, but in all fairness, I've dealt with their department. I personally have dealt with their department on the Paul and Miranda case, and I wasn't pleased. I will not lie. I will not lie. I'm glad that this case, has some resolution. I'm glad that this family is going to hopefully get some justice. But what is justice for them at this point? What difference does it make? I mean, getting the guy in jail and stuff like that. I hope our law enforcement, and I don't want to say law enforcement. No, let me take this back, because I'm really sick and tired of law enforcement getting blamed for these animals walking my streets, right? And our streets, right? It's not them. Let's put the blame where it is. These prosecutors need to get off their ass and do their job. Their job's a tough job. And if you don't know how to do your job, move out of the way so somebody that does can be hired. Because I'm sorry, I'm getting sick and tired of my life being put in jeopardy over PCBS. Because that guy, that animal in my own backyard, he should have been put in a mental hospital. And I know it was some PC stuff about, oh, we're being too hard on a mental patient. I'm sorry, 2 people are dead because you guys didn't want to be too hard on a mental patient. Let's weigh the scale and find out how costly political correctness is in our country. Because right now, it cost me and my community 2 lives that we know of right now. When you have a violent a criminal, I don't care what the freaking extenuating circumstances are. If he's violent, he's violent. Period. I don't care what's making him violent. Do you give a shit whether he's just crazy on drugs or has mental illness? Do you really care why he's violent? For all the normal people out there in my audience, do you care what the reason he is violent for? It doesn't matter. He's a violent criminal, and until he's not violent, he needs to be put somewhere. And quite frankly, me, I don't care where he's put. You put him in a mental hospital, I'm fine. You put him in jail, I'm fine. But don't put him somewhere where he can escape and murder somebody out there on the street. That's the one thing you don't do. I don't care why that's not my problem, why he's violent. It's not your problem why he's violent. You know whose problem why he's violent is? It's his problem and our government's problem to figure out what to do with him. And to do it responsibly where it doesn't affect the community in which they serve. This was an isolated incident. And the lady that lost her life, her son killed her. It wasn't a stranger. She didn't deserve that. She stayed alone by herself. Well, I shouldn't say alone. She was with her boyfriend. But according to the neighbors, they didn't get out of the house. They were very quiet. They were very sweet, very kind to people. And she was terrified of her own kids. Her own son. Begged for court intervention. This is no different. This guy killed somebody in the 90s. Why is he walking the streets? Why? It seems so unnecessary. It seems so unnecessary. But, say la vie. I pray for the family. This wasn't a case that we were going to invest a whole lot of time. Her son killed his mother. Yes, Victoria. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Yeah. It's sad. It really is sad too, because he did this and this is what happened. Well, I'll just replay it. We have 150 people in here. I'll just replay it and you guys can watch why I'm so angry. Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. So there's something going on in my community and I need your help with. So this is a double homicide that happened in my community, but there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. This is Thomas Matajek. He actually killed his mother and her boyfriend recently, but the problem here is he shouldn't even have been out of jail. He should have been in a mental hospital, and he is deemed incompetent to stand trial. This right here is our state attorney, and his name is Ed Brodsky. He has been our state attorney in the 12th district for some time. I recently learned our law enforcement officer, Sheriff Rick Wells, has arrested this guy many times and has prepared a case and sent that over to the state prosecutor. Ed Brodsky was supposed to litigate the matter. However, he ended up taking the felony case, reducing it to a misdemeanor, sending it to a misdemeanor court, and then just a month ago sent this deranged mental patient to a halfway house where he escaped and killed his mother. How can you help Bullhorn Betty? You can help Bullhorn Betty by saying, we will not accept this. This is unacceptable. Our law enforcement does their job and they send it over to the prosecutors just to let them go. Now, 2 people in my own backyard have lost their life because of these horrible and poor decisions at the hand of the state prosecutor, not law enforcement. So please, I ask you, is this going to be acceptable in your community as well? This is how you can help. If this case bothers you, if it disgusts you, if you realize 2 people should not be laying in the morgue right now, please consider giving Ed Brodsky a call and letting him know this is unacceptable from any state prosecutor.
So that's what happens when you put Bullhorn Betty's life in danger. I'm sorry, but I only have a few tools at my disposal, and one of the best tools I've got is my platforms, right? That's the best tool I got. And I got to tell you, I know that a lot of people come here each and every day here, that care. We all care about these cases. We all care for one another. We have a great, loving, chat community and family. We spend a lot of time together, hours every day. We go to church together on Sunday. We're a family. We're a family here, and we care about one another. And so when something comes after us personally, or something is done where it jeopardizes any one of us in our community, you get this platform plastered all over your face. And it's not just for me either. You got something like this going on in your community, you let me know, and we will get to work. Because to be honest with you, this scared the crap out of me. To know how close this deranged animal was to me and knowing that he should have been locked away, it's scary. And we do true crime here. And I can tell you the one thing that I know more than anything else in this entire world is I have a big, fat, beautiful, loud mouth. And I use it. And good Lord, right there, that right there is better than a gun with 13 loaded bullets with ammunition in it. I don't need to fight like that. That's my fight right there. That's my fight right there. And that only comes out as a last resort. As a last resort. Except in, elections, of course, every weekend is the last resort because I'm on every single corner with my sign and my flag, right? Represent. That's what we do, baby. You represent for your causes. I'll represent for my causes. I love you and you should love me. We should have a respect. We should have a respect. It doesn't matter if these types of things don't matter. What we do need to worry about in our communities is making sure they're safe for each and every one of us. Because, to be honest with you, the politics of it is not going to do any damn bit of good for any of us if we're all dead. Just saying, right? What you can either have 100% of nothing or 50% of something. Well, what do you say, baby? I say 50% of something's better than 100% of nothing. I don't know. Call me stupid. Call me stupid. I love you guys. I love you guys. And I love your walks. I love your uniqueness. I love who you are as a person. I don't try to change you. I don't try to judge you. You come here as you are each and every day. And that's all that's expected of you. You want to come here to do good? This is the place to do it at, right? We've come under a lot of fire for the work we do. Somehow I'm supposed to be sorry for fighting for a 20-month-old boy. I'm not. And I will never be. And I can't wait to do it again for another sorry piece of crap. Because it's going to happen. It's not like I'm thankful that I can go out there and fight for a 20-month-old boy, right? I'd prefer parents just letting their children thrive and be successful and, do great things with their life and not be garbage and not be treated like garbage. That's what I would really like. But we live in a world where you have a lot of good people and it takes just one animal to rock a community. And that's what we see. We see these animals come in and just obliterate a community with one single act of hate and violence. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But that's okay. Those communities, you know what? I'm still waiting to hear those communities reaching out to one of those hate channels for help. Because I tell you, I get messages from all over the country saying they need my Bullhorn, you know, regularly. We just can't afford to go out to every single cause. So I wanted you guys to watch this. I don't know how much I'm going to, because I know I'm going to get dinged on this. So if you guys want to sponsor this show, you know, $1 will do, because I'm going to get dinged now that I'm going to be playing NBC stuff. So it's probably going to do something with my ad suitability. So we'll see. We'll see. God bless you guys. Here is the Dateline stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and play it for you because it's good stuff. It's good stuff, and I really don't care. It's good stuff.
I am so glad I found Happy Feet Plus. They provided a shoe that gave me the...
And of course, we could all use some Happy Feet, right?
Every step.
We provide personalized and effective service for each customer's unique needs. Step into Happy. Step into Happy Feet Plus.
We're already Happy Feet.
We thought we had one homicide. We're looking for evidence, and we find a second set of human remains. That's very, very, very uncommon. Then the third set of remains and finds a fourth set of remains.
Oh, thank you, Baby Yoda.
Truly shocking day.
Love ya.
It's crazy. How do you go looking for my sister? It's now uncovering a serial killer's dumping ground. One of the biggest memories is her saying, I'm going to be famous one day. This isn't how it was supposed to go.
She didn't care if you messed up. She wasn't judging you. And she had dreams. Imagine who she would have been now.
Our last weekend together, we walked all around Times Square.
When I came back, she wasn't at the hotel. She vanished.
I want people to remember her for who she was. She was so caring, so kind, so thoughtful.
Amber had friends, and they saw her meet somebody in a car a fair distance away.
I feel bad for those girls. They're just trying to make their ends meet. They had families, they had people that loved them, and they didn't deserve this.
These women walked right into a trap. I just can't believe that there's these people, these murderous monsters that are in the shadows just waiting for their next victim. Did it ever cross your mind that this man could be living a double life?
Never, never.
The idea that as a woman you have to be suspicious and be afraid all the time just to stay alive is enraging.
A trial is still a long way off. Are you confident that Rex Heuermann will spend the rest of his life behind bars?
So I'm very confident that he'll never see the light of day again.
This is the big question. If he wasn't arrested till 2023, what's he been doing all that time?
Exactly. Exactly. What has he been doing all that time? So that's going to be coming on all new Friday nights, 9 p.m. I don't know when this article came out. I forgot to check. I read it a couple days ago. So actually, you guys might be able to see this. So this was on November 10th, so that Friday has already gone. So this is out right now on NBC. If you guys haven't seen it, you might want to go check it out. It is a really good program. And obviously, they ask some really good questions. We're going to be commercialed out on this one. But that's okay. You guys are going to want to watch this.
Paradox. It really is both. The first ever Lexus RX plug-in hybrid.
Mama needs a new car.
These were mothers, these were daughters, these were people who had close relationships with their families, even as they went missing. It's not like they had fallen off the grid. And then once they were missing, it was hard for the families to even get anybody to care.
One of the things people talk about is that if it hadn't been for your mom, if it hadn't been for you, keeping the pressure on the police to find Shannon, that all these other women would never have been found.
A lot of people say that Shannon was the catalyst that started this whole thing because of that search and the dog, that led to the discovery of the bodies. I do believe that that was Shannon's purpose in life, maybe to uncover these crimes so that these families could have their loved ones back, We refused to back down, and we kept fighting. My mom fought to the very last day of her life.
And it's just sad because Shannon Gilbert really was the reason, that the Gilgo 4 were found. Her disappearance was the reason that they chose to train the dog out there in that area. He was going out there in the training session, and it's my understanding the dog needed to be trained. And he said, why not take him out here? And as we saw, it was one body, and then it was like another body, and then it was like another body. And it was just like, oh my goodness. I vaguely remember it, but I remember this coming across our news and us being affixated to the TV. The problem that happened is we forgot about it. It went away. I thought this guy was captured. We were live here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, and people were coming into the chat saying they found the Gilgo Beach killer. They found the Gilgo Beach killer. And I remember sitting here, and it was like, I hadn't seen that Gilgo Beach killer name or anything. So I'm trying to think, and I'm like, oh, and I started saying, and then somebody reminded me of the burlap and everything. And it was all coming back, all of it. And I remember sitting here and I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought they were arrested. I thought this case was done. We just never heard about it again. We heard about it, and then we find out why, right? We had a corrupt police chief or police commissioner running that department, pushing off the FBI, not working with the FBI, trying to cover up his own shenanigans. Meanwhile, all these women that clearly that police commissioner, because he uses their services, probably doesn't have much respect for them, didn't really care that he was poo-pooing all over them and their families. And that's what he did. And that's what he did. And thank goodness for politics and the need to get a vote, right? Because I truly believe if it wasn't for the new commissioner, the one that's just now standing down, from my understanding, if it wasn't for him and his stance on this and wanting to get this case solved and closed, it wouldn't be solved and closed right now. Had this area voted differently, we wouldn't even be talking about this case. And that drives me absolutely bonkers. I have to be honest with you. I think it's disgusting. Just saying.
Was just a good person. She was funny. She would make us laugh. There was just so many things that we did together as sisters. We were really best friends. We were very close.
It was like we'd known each other forever. We clicked. She's very giving, very loving, very caring, multi-talented with different things. Her passion was poetry, and she wanted to become the next female rapper.
Nice
She
to
wanted
see
to be a
happy.
female Eminem, and she could have too, because her poetry was beautiful. She taught me basically how to be an adult and how to stand up for yourself, and everything like that is stuff that I attribute to her. My own independence and everything like that is something I attribute to her. I always have.
And she went to beauty school, and she could braid your hair, and you dye your hair, braid your hair, curl your hair.
You looked up to her?
I did, because she was really independent, and I didn't know how to be like that. She was feisty, and she was strong, and she just did whatever she wanted, and she was free.
She's very bubbly. I like to go to the park with our kids. We went for walks, we had picnics, fed ducks. I mean, you name it, we did it. And
you two both were moms?
Yeah. We were pregnant at the same time. We had our kids 2 weeks apart.
What do you want people to remember about Megan?
I want people to remember her for who she was and not what she did, because that does not define her.
What defines her?
Her personality. She was so caring, so kind, so thoughtful.
It's hard not to cry.
My voice when I couldn't speak, my eyes when I couldn't see. She was literally like everything, and it's not fair.
They grew up in public housing. And she had a saving grace, her older sister, who she was very close with, Kim. Amber had friends. She lived with 2 of them at a house in Babylon, New York.
In the world that we live right now, loyalty is very, very rare. Melissa was your loyal friend. Their family knows that Melissa was a great person. And it doesn't matter what opinions people might have had of her because they didn't know her.
What I want people to know about Maureen is the same thing I want them to know about Megan, Amber, and Melissa. They're not the go-go for. They're not sex workers. They were all beautiful human beings.
Amen.
Trying to make their way in life.
Amen. So we are a victim focused channel. So, you know, all the victims, and I mean that in the literal sense, even Rex's own family, you know, I feel that they are victims. I feel that these are victims. I feel that there are victims out there that we have no clue who they are right now. I pray to God that we find out soon. I pray that Rex, you know, understands he's caught. Might as well let these people rest, you know, in peace. Tell what has happened in the last decades, the last few decades, right? It's been what, 2010. So you're talking about a decade ago. And, you know, we know that the guilt, I don't believe these beautiful women were the first. I just don't. I believe that there was more to the story. You know, we don't know anything about Rex. I mean, really, think about it. When we go into these communities, we're looking for anybody that knows them, anybody willing to talk, you know, anybody that can just get us some information about who this guy was when he was younger, when he, you know, what happened. You know, we know that serial killers just don't wake up and just start killing people. There's a progression typically involved in this type of behavior. Where was the progression for him? You know, where was that progression? Where was the, you know, peeping Tom or killing of animals or, you know, sniffing of the underwear or stealing the underwear or, you know, where was all that behavior that we see that are usually accustomed to these type of cases? And then, you know, when the Gilgo Four were found, and like they say, it's hard for us not to call them the Gilgo Four, but they are human beings. And I couldn't have said it better myself because you guys know how I feel, especially about, you know, people that have problems like Layla Santinello, like these girls here, right? The people that have, you know, problems, these girls. And that's what I've always tried to implore, you know, especially on my own local law enforcement, is that, especially for the younger kids, you know, they're not bad kids. They may be having behavioral issues, but typically those behavioral issues are dealing with some type of childhood trauma or home life issue, which is traumatic. Typically, that's when you start seeing those behaviors, especially in younger children. Thank you, Jen. God bless you. So I always try to say, you know, we always want law enforcement to be literally the last case scenario, right? But you have to understand that these girls aren't coming from the best of homes. You know, you hear about the majority of these girls, if not all of them, have kids. Uneducated in New York in the 90s, you know, with children, just trying to make it. You know, 90s, 2000s, just trying to make it. You know, these girls had, you know, they should not be defined by what they had to do. I guarantee a lot of these girls probably, you know, as we know, most likely had drug issues. Drugs are awful. This war on drugs isn't working. Thank you, Jen. God bless you. You know, it's just not working. It doesn't even exist anymore. Our government gave up. Our government gave up, and they gave up long before these girls were in the ground. So just sad. I think there's still another video on here that we're going to watch. I can't remember. Hold on a second. There we go. I think there's one more. Maybe there's not, but look at that. And I think that, yeah, that's his first wife right there. That's his first wife. So according to the timeline, how it kind of goes is like right there, 1992 through 1994, somewhere around there is when he was getting, when Asa and Catherine and him were all, do you guys find it weird? You know, they call Asa Ellerup, and they refer to Catherine Shepard as Catherine Shepard and Rex Heuermann as Heuermann. Now, granted, I didn't take, when I got married, I'm not divorced. I'm kind of thankful for my decision. one less legal process to overcome, right? But one of the things for me is I never changed my last name. You know, I never changed my last name when I got married. I was hesitant at first because, to be honest with you, I've been Andrew Griffin my entire life. I'm Andrew Griffin. I'm not Andrew Vaca. I'm not Andra this. I'm not Andrew that. I'm Andrew Griffin. I've been Andrew Griffin my entire life. You know, I could change my name, but, you know, I was very hesitant. And then, you know, I finally was talked into it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna change my last name. Might be good, you know, might just be good. I'm gonna change my last name, right? So I'm like, okay, let me go through this process. You know, it had already been 6 months, so now I'm going to have to pay for the name change and all this other stuff. I think it's a little bit more. So I don't know. I think there might be a court hearing that it was required or something because I waited past the 6 months. And then I couldn't find my birth certificate. And then it was like, then the next thing is I couldn't find this. And then I couldn't find, I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is telling me I just need to stay who I am. I'm sorry. I am just who I am. So I kind of understand, you know, having one wife that might be like that. But did any of his wives that he's married, did they actually, I don't know the answer. And it really is truly a question. Do we know if any of them changed their names to his last name? Does anybody else find that a little odd? Because I mean, I did it once. If I don't know if I'll ever get married again. I really don't. Even if I was in a good relationship, I don't know if I don't know if I want. I'll do that again. It wasn't fun for me. I don't know if I like the marriage thing. I don't mind the commitment. You know, that's easy. It's the attitude, right? It's the attitude. Let's hope I don't marry somebody. Let's hope my next marriage is not a Rex Heuermann. Can you imagine? Yeah, like that would be like. Can you imagine if I was married to a serial killer, a content creator that covers true crime? That would be so bad. You're listening to her for true crime, and she laid next to a guy for 20 years and didn't even know he was a serial killer. Whatever. I got a lot of them. What's this one? I think this one's. Oh, we got snoring going on. Oh, I like that one. That's funny. That says ouch. I don't know why. It doesn't sound like an ouch to me. That's called Pretty Boy. I'm not lying. It's called Pretty Boy. Let's see what this one is. What? Did anybody understand what that said? It almost sounded like it says what, right? But it says great. That's what the button says. It says great. And so this one says don't laugh. Why am I laughing? I don't know why I'm laughing. We heard kiss. What's this one? Oh, we heard that one. The world's smallest violin. Maybe that should be my intro coming in. And Bullhorn Betty! I'm here! That's proud. I guess that's the proud walk. know. Pretty boy, you like the pretty boy one? I don't know. I think I like the proud. I think I like the proud one. Yeah. I'm coming. Who's coming to the house? I need to stop. I just like pushing buttons. This is my favorite button to push. I have to be honest with you. Oh, here.
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit. Warning, bullshit alert. That was bullshit. Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
This is my favorite button to push. And this is a big shout out to Jen. Jen, we love you here on the Bullhorn Betty channel because, you know, without Jen, we wouldn't have a bullshit button to push.
Bullshit level, DEFCON 5.
All right, I'm done pushing buttons. All right, let's get back to work. Somebody in my comments told me I was unprofessional. Did I tell you guys that yesterday? I was reading through the comments. They said, "You're the most unprofessional person." I'm like, really? Like, I don't watch YouTube anymore because I know for a fact there's a hell of a lot more unprofessional people than me. I mean, come on. I just think delusion. Do they make a pill? Like, I want to live in this. I have to be honest with you. I want to live in this fantasy world they live in. Is there a pill for it? Do you take a shot? How do you get to this world you guys live in? I'd like to know. I would just want to explore. I'll try anything once, right? I'll try anything once. Where is this place? Where does it exist? Is it pill? Like, is it do you have to shove something up your butt? I mean, what is the requirement to get to this fantasy land? I'm just curious. Somebody help me? Anybody? No hands up? Nobody knows how to get there? They just all live there? I'm sorry. I can't help myself. Being a smart aleck and sarcastic is like, duh. Like, duh. So what is this? Oh, lady, oh. No pun intended. Alec Murdoch. I heard from a birdie that he took responsibility. That's what I heard. I heard he pled guilty. This is something about the judge standing down, but hold on. This is the Wrong People magazine article. Yeah, there it is. I grabbed the wrong one. Sorry, guys. I do that occasionally. I'm falling asleep at the wheel here. Alec Murdaugh pleads guilty to spate of financial crimes. I don't like that spate word. I don't like it. I don't like it, New York Times. Alec Murdaugh, a former lawyer who was convicted this year of murdering his wife and son. He was convicted because he did it for all the people out there with their 10 hats on thinking he's innocent. Pled guilty on Friday. Pled guilty. He couldn't plead guilty and spare his family embarrassment of a murder trial and listening to his lies and lies and lies and lies and lies, right? But on the financial crimes, he's just going to throw a Hail Mary and say, you know what? We'll just plead guilty. So he was, and that was related to the money laundering and other financial crimes, fortifying the prospect that he will spend decades in prison, even if he seeks a retrial in the murder case. And then in addition to that, we know that Newman is stepping down. I think we talked about it a couple days ago. I have no earthly idea, but I'm pretty sure that we talked about it a couple days ago. And so Murdaugh is, and I think that's the right choice for Newman. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know if he's going to be a witness, and I don't know if I don't even know if he can sue. Like, I mean, he's kind of getting, Well, he's not being railroaded like the clerk. Like the clerk, she seems like such a nice lady. She just seems so beyond reproach. She just seems like a dutiful Christian woman that, you know, works her butt off and always tries to do the right thing. I don't see, when I look at that woman, look, we look at some pretty stinking horrible people. Even the ones that don't look at that guy that just killed his mom. You know, you take some of that bushy hair off, that would, you could see him in a bank. Let's be honest. Okay. So you got this lady. We see a lot of horrible people here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. And the clerk is like the furthest person from a horrible person. She doesn't look like she's got a lying bone in her body. I mean, she is a politician. She did get elected. So we have to take that into consideration. We have to take it into consideration. I try to be serious over here on some of these things, but you know what? It's true. She, you know, but I don't believe it. I never believed that she was this. Remember when it all came out, and I'm like, guys, we just need to step back and wait, just wait. And then I'm like, please don't tell me she did something. I gotta be honest with you. I'm sweating back here because I read people. I mean, that's if I'm not good at that. I mean, that I don't know where it comes from, but I just know. I don't know how I know. Sometimes I get it right or wrong. You know, sometimes I get it wrong, but I do have a keen sense of people. And I just didn't see her being this nefarious, like, you know, ninja woman that was sneaking into the jury box to tell people how to vote for Alec Murdaugh. I just didn't see it. I just didn't see it. We know how complicated this case was. We watched it every single day on this channel. We saw the problems they had. We saw the egg lady get kicked off the jury. We saw that there was a lot of other issues going on that took, you know, there's a purpose, there's a reason why a foreperson is named as the foreperson, because it's all about chain of command whenever you get there. So there is a proper procedure. Say if somebody needs to speak with the judge, or somebody needs, seriously, like say, for example, one of the jurors, when they first started out, remember, he said, yeah, I can sit on the jury, but I can only be here 3 weeks. Remember that? Well, he needed to go to the judge to talk to the judge because his 3 weeks were up. So what was the process of that? The process would have been, he let the foreperson know. The foreperson let the bailiff know. The bailiff let the clerk know. The clerk come down and speak to the foreperson and then to the person. Then she goes back to the judge, talks to him about the situation, and finds out how the judge would like to handle it. If the judge says, hey, bring the guy to me, then she comes back, goes to the bailiff, gets the bailiff to get the person and the bailiff, the person gets another escort, either by the clerk or another bailiff, and they go into the judge's chambers. All a very strategic process. It is all about the chain of command. And that's what when I was listening to all this stuff in this thing, in that motion for new trial, in the affidavits, there was a lot of key information that we picked up on. And one was the fact that the 3 or 2, I can't remember, I think it was 2 affidavits of somebody. Did we have 2 or 3 affidavits in that? I can't remember. I feel like there was one affidavit. They just, like they said, we just haven't had an opportunity for her to meet up with her for her to sign it, but she has told us she's going to sign it. But we had, I think, 1 juror, maybe it was 2 jurors, and 1 husband of a juror. The one, maybe it was the egg lady that got kicked off the jury. Possibly, I think there was 3. If I recall correctly, there was 3 affidavits there, but I believe only 2 were from inside that courtroom, were jurors. And when you read those, they talked about how the clerk said this in front of everybody. Like they said jury, not them, the whole entire jury body. That this clerk said that in front of. And my whole thing is that the beauty of Christian people, not that I'm putting them on a pedestal and I'm not trying to offend anybody else that has any other type of religion or anything like that. Maybe I should say religious people as a whole instead of maybe breaking it down by religion. So religious people typically always, I mean, one of the things is they always try to do the right thing. You know, we're all sinners. We're not perfect. So nobody hits that mark 100%, not even the best people in the whole entire world, right? Everybody makes mistakes. We're not alone in that. But I have to think that if you're a religious person, you want to do the right thing. I mean, you trust your religion. Your religion tells you to be a good steward of other people, be a good steward of your community. You know, it's really an empowering, you know, religion of do-gooding. You know, we want to do good. So if she really did say all these things inside the jury room to all those jurors that we know were very soulful, prayerful, religious country folk, okay, religious country folk. So if we know that and they heard that, say, a clerk making certain comments were against the law, I would have to think that the good-hearted people of that community that was in that jury room, if they heard her do something wrong, I would have to assume, and I'm putting a lot of assumption into people I don't know, but I'm doing that with all the love and taking it, looking at the good side of humanity, because I truly believe at least one additional person would come forward saying they heard the clerk say that. Because right now, all we really have is two people that appear to have been offended or embarrassed with their, when they got removed from the trial. And it seems to me that there was, maybe they didn't realize there was an ulterior motive for them. Maybe they didn't realize they were as upset or as hurt as they were. But I just find it awfully suspect that it was only these two jurors and these two jurors alone, that there was no additional jurors that came forward. Maybe there are. And if they were, you would think that Alec Murdaugh's team would take an opportunity, they're a very opportunistic type of legal team. Okay. So it just seems like if they found or were able to flip one more jury member over that wasn't there before, that would just prove their case. And you would think that if they did have that they would be coming directly to the cameras to let everybody know they found another one. Yay! Right? But you haven't seen that or heard that. So, thanks, Jen. God bless. Oh, let me go through some things. I got some things starred back here. And I think, and I picked this one up because when we were listening to that press conference, Donna, you were spot on with me. Like, eventually, I can hear it in your voice. Like, I can hear it in your print. Like, you were right there with me. So, yes, thank you. And I also wanted to throw this up because, and I did throw it up, but I also pulled it back because I wanted to make sure I had an opportunity to tell you guys Christmas is coming up. If you need those custom gift items, or you just want to support a great company that does great things for the missing, the lost, and the killed, she does. Sonia does great work around this country. And I'm going to say that around this country because you know what? I can tell you I've seen her do some amazing things, sending stuff off to people, helping people in need. And you know what? You never hear her brag about it. You never hear her say anything about it, and she just keeps going. So if that's somebody you would like to support and you still have some necessary things on your list, custom products are right up her alley. You need a cup? She's got it. You need a hat? She's got it. You need a shirt? Give her a call. Thank you, Baby Yoda Trucker. I do appreciate it, and I did check, and I was hit. So I know how NBC works. That's why I went ahead and let you guys know. So God bless you for the support of this channel in this segment today, because Bullhorn Betty killed it for your entertainment purposes. And then we have Unicorn Indiana. My question is, what did these women see in him? In my opinion, he is gross. And I know exactly where this came from, Unicorn. You were talking about the Gilgo. And the problem is with them, when you're an escort, you're not picky and choosy about who you associate with. You know what, you when you're in that kind of business and you're on those types of drugs, it really is all about the green. I if they even look at the face, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised. They have a job to do, they go out and do it. It's sad. It's sad. That's the one thing I can honestly say that I'm so thankful for, that I never, and but for the grace of God, there go I, right? I was a hop, skip it away from being an escort, right? I had a lot of drug problems. I was running out of money, right? I am thankful, and I thank God each and every day that I never subjected my body to that kind of stuff. Was it in the horizon? I'm sure if I didn't get better, God knows where that would have led me. It definitely wouldn't have led me on YouTube trying to inspire a whole bunch of people and trying to do good in the world. I can promise you that. But that's what they saw in him. It was the green. It was the gunk. They don't care about the man. They don't care what he looks like. They don't care how. They don't care. All they care about is getting paid and getting their whatever. And thank you, Jen. It's me. Jen has been a great sponsor, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sponsor of this segment. Thank you, Jen. If you received, she gave three Bullhorn Betty memberships. 3. So if you are a lucky recipient of one of those 3 memberships, please don't forget to be courteous and tell it's me, Jen. Thank you so much. And Jen, from me to you, thank you for the love and support as always. Thank you, love. Thank you. So I'm trying to go through here, and I really don't want to dive into the Alec Murdaugh case just yet, because there's a lot, with the financial crimes that I wanted to go over with you guys. And, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but, something I want to do in more detail, right, than just throwing it out here and just reading an article. I want to talk to you guys about some things. And then what else do we have here? There was just a lot of stuff. There's just a lot of stuff that I've got in the pipe. So, yeah, I think that's it. I'm trying to go through here and make sure I didn't miss anything. I feel like there's something I'm missing here that I wanted to cover today. But to be honest with you, I think after church, and it's now like 1:00 in the afternoon, I think I'm ready to kind of chill. We might be back at 6:30. If there's something that I'm going to be here all day. I'm not really going anywhere. So I'll be doing paperwork and research. And if something pops up that I think we should discuss, we'll discuss. So if you guys have not checked your settings yet, if I'm not put to the all, please don't forget to set me to all so you guys don't miss any of the latest, greatest with Bullhorn Betty. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be kind. Well, please be safe first and then kind to one another, right? We want you to be safe so you can be kind, but you got to be kind. Be nice to somebody. Don't be a dick. That's my message. Happy Sunday. God bless. And I'm going to go out with this outro. As you know, Ed Brodsky, you kind of really ticked me off. So I really do hope you do something about this and explain this to our residents of this county.
Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. So there's something going on in my community and I need your help with. So this is a double homicide that happened in my community, but there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. This is Thomas Matajek. He actually killed his mother and her boyfriend recently, but the problem here is he shouldn't even have been out of jail. He should have been in a mental hospital, and he is deemed incompetent to stand trial. This right here is our state attorney, and his name is Ed Brodsky. He has been our state attorney in the 12th district for some time. I recently learned our law enforcement officer, Sheriff Rick Wells, has arrested this guy many times and has prepared a case and sent that over to the state prosecutor. Ed Brodsky was supposed to litigate the matter. However, he ended up taking the felony case, reducing it to a misdemeanor, sending it to a misdemeanor court, and then just a month ago sent this deranged mental patient to a halfway house where he escaped and killed his mother. How can you help Bullhorn Betty? You can help Bullhorn Betty by saying, we will not accept this. This is unacceptable. Our law enforcement does their job and they send it over to the prosecutors just to let them go. Now, 2 people in my own backyard have lost their life because of these horrible and poor decisions at the hand of the state prosecutor, not law enforcement. So please, I ask you, is this going to be acceptable in your community as well? This is how you can help. If this case bothers you, if it disgusts you, if you realize 2 people should not be laying in the morgue right now, please consider giving Ed Brodsky a call and letting him know this is unacceptable from any state prosecutor.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.